Welcome, everyone. You told me to do this. You shut up, Bobby.
You were slow.
I was slow.
Tom show.
Hey, pipe down. Pipe down. Pipe down. Ed. Welcome, everyone, to the 30th episode of Busting Out. I am Chris Parrish, alongside my co-host with the rambling tongue, Bobby Money Munson, as we are guested for the second time. But also, really, he could be here whenever he wants. We got Mr. Tom Colohue. Hello, how are you?
I am good, thank you. I mean, we finally got to an intro, which is great. Took a moment there. A little bit of carnage. And I am hoping that we have a ticker all about me ready and prepared this time, much like we did not last time. Go on, always ready. Always ready. Look at him. Look at him. Look how hype he is.
He's very hype. Very hype.
Professionals. And we also are joined by the host, one of the hosts of Taking Over. We got the host of What If? We have the man who plans to stream a little bit of 2K23. We got Ed Fraz, also known as OLED. Ed, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. It's been a long Sunday morning already. I have a headache, but I'm here.
Headaches are never good. But we also have a full house in the chat joining us as well, Parrish. Look at this. We got Mel Ball joining us here this morning.
We have one gentleman. Does that count? We have one. It's a gentleman.
Gentleman.
Over there.
Gentleman. But we've also got your partner in crime there, Ed, on Taking Over. Astrid joining us as well, too. Good morning, Astrid. And we've got Basser joining us each and every Sunday. Good morning, gents. I'm ready for busting out. And, of course, we got our guest. Giving a good old hello to Astrid as well, too. And we got SIT. Hey, guys, hope you are all well. I mean, I'm doing quite well, and I think our whole panel is. I think we're ready to talk some wrestling, and I know I'm going to throw things back over to the host for this afternoon, Chris Parrish.
Well, we're both hosts. You just asked me to start, so I did. But yeah, I just also want to refrain to everyone. Well, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. But also just want to show everyone our links down below, all of our social medias and our email, too. If you have a chance, make sure you're going to all that, sending us some good old OLE support and like, subscribe, all that great stuff. So make sure if you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell and say what's up. Yeah. We have some very happy news about Lauren. We do.
What?
But yeah. No, I'm just agreeing with you, Bobby.
Yeah. Got a very lively chat here today. I mean, this is fantastic. Got a lot of people in here, and it's great. So if anyone has anything they want to talk about, then, yeah, we got to look at this. Keo Kevin coming in. Hey, gang. Yo, Bobby, I'm sorry about not getting back to you. on the Twitter machine, but followed you, messaged you back. By the way, Bud Evie is one of my best friends. Yeah, dude is absolutely amazing. I will send you the link to that interview that we did with him. That was from a fair amount of time ago when we were first getting into, myself and Pop Smokes first getting into doing some of our interviews there. Bud was one of the first guys that, accepted that was kind of outside our territory and everything like that too. So it was a really cool time. I'll send you that later today as well too, once we get off the air here, of course. But yeah, back over to you, Mr. Parrish.
Yeah, as I think about what we're going to open with, I might as well find out one thing that we know is opening up, and that is John Cena versus Austin Theory set to open up night one of WrestleMania. So let's go around the panel thinking what we think about that one. And let's start with our guest, Mr. Colohue. What do you know about this match?
Well, the way they've laid out WrestleMania, they've got 2 nights. They're trying to make sure they cover a lot of bases. John Cena's sort of a reach back into the past at this point. He's not really a modern superstar anymore, but he does bring that audience with him who were there for Ruthless Aggression. You've got Trish Stratus doing a very similar job, Lita as well, and so many names who bring in certain different audiences, Logan Paul as well. John Cena, I think, is a bit of a throwback, a bit of an element to... If you're not watching regularly, if you're just tuning into WrestleMania for the sake of it being WrestleMania, here's someone you immediately know, and here's someone you are going to know by the end of it. I think it's a good way to open the show. You're going to get a hyped up crowd. You're going to probably get the opportunity for John Cena to cut a promo as well, which is always a nice thing. And very repetitive promos from John Cena, but you know what you're going to get with John Cena. You'll get a quality match. And in many ways, for me, this is John Cena passing the torch. There's been graphics and ideas going around that he's passing the torch to Cody Rhodes. Not on your life. Austin Theory is right there waiting for his hand to be raised by John Cena. I still think he's winning the thing myself.
Yeah. We'll turn to Ed as
there he is.
Literally Bobby has
Bobby, I love
busted
that.
out. I'm on the same page. I don't think I would have opened with this though. I don't think I would have opened WrestleMania with this. I think I would have done the story of the bloodline from start to finish. I think I would have started with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, have that open night one, and then have the through line through both nights of WrestleMania, leading to your night 2 main event, where Roman goes slightly more chaotically mad through night 1 as he reacts to the fact that they no longer have the tag titles. And as night 2 goes through, how Paul Heyman is running around. We don't see Roman at all. Paul, like the old days of the bloodline, Paul keeps the cameras away. Nobody goes in that locker room. And we see Paul running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to get everybody in line to make sure that Cody Rhodes doesn't finish the story. I think that would be an interesting way to go ahead and pull that off. That being said, John Cena versus Austin Theory is going to be a great match. And as Tom said, you don't pass the torch to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes already has a different torch. He's there. Everybody knows he's there. They're crowning him. This should be his crowning moment on Sunday. So I don't think you need to pass anything to him. I think Austin Theory needs, as John Cena said, he needs something because the fans don't care about Austin Theory.
Bobby, you are
Hey there.
heated. Your
I'm
computer is
back,
no
yeah.
longer frozen. What is going on?
It's no longer frozen. We are back in action. I made it. Yeah, that was a weird few moments, but here I am. So yeah, I guess we're talking about Cena and Austin Theory still. Good, because then I not too.
Yeah,
off
your
track.
thoughts on it being set up to open up WrestleMania Night 1?
I think it's a fantastic choice. Of course, they're doing this in Hollywood. Cena coming in as that Hollywood star, the current crossover guy between the two. So this is a really nice touch. Again, it's going to get the internet buzzing. That's exactly what they want. They want those hashtags going out. They want that be trending, of course, worldwide, and that's what Cena brings to the table in this one. Again, Austin Theory being young, being new, this is great to put eyes on him to see what's up. Why is Cena going in there with this guy? What is so special about him that John Cena would take time away from Hollywood to go and have this matchup with him? So that's what gets people thinking. It gets people watching. It gets them paying attention, and that's what they want to do. And hopefully it'll draw a lot of people into watching WrestleMania this coming weekend. I think fantastic choice. I really like it, and personally looking forward to the match too. I really want to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting with Austin Theory, as he's had a very polarizing year. I think after he was done with Money in the Bank and kind of had that character shift, no longer with the selfies, now kind of more on that serious wave. I think this is some of the best work he's been doing since he's been in WWE, and I think this is set to become his breaking out uh, with WWE. And I really,
Or
really like this because this is one of those matches that you don't need a big time build behind. We've had what we needed. The only thing I wish we would have had is one of those mocks of those trailers for Hollywood that we've been seeing around. And I would have loved to see Theory make fun of John Cena on one of them. That would have been the only other thing I would add. But outside of that, like, this is going to be a great match, and I don't think it needs to be a long match. It just needs to be one of those matches to get that crowd going and ready for WrestleMania, because I think whatever match is on next, that's going to be a really big match. And my guess is maybe it's an Intercontinental title match, but maybe it's also, I don't know, maybe it's one of those tag team matches that we seen. I don't know. We'll find out more about that as we go closer in the week, unless, Tom, you know anything, as you're the one with a lot better sources than we do.
I'm mostly excited by the idea that you just put forward. The idea of Austin Theory playing the John Cena role in the Suicide Squad mock-up would be a lot of fun, particularly with the mask involved. I reckon they could get away with a lot on that one. But when it comes to the ordering of the matches, I'm honestly not entirely sure. They're still working things out from what I can tell. Some matches are locked in stone, the main event, for example. But all I can really say is of the rumors of the main event for night one, sounds like Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley is going to be the one to get it.
now, could you make the argument too for the Trish and Lita come back to be on night 2 for the opening matchup as well too, to give them that moment as well? You're bringing back 2 names, especially Ian Trish Stratus, that has gone, above and beyond into the entertainment world and stuff like that. So it brings kind of that Hollywood aspect, or, somebody a little bit more with a celebrity status to night 2, especially, again, being in Hollywood. That's what they're gunning for.
You certainly could, and I think it works for the similar audiences, the throwback. But when it comes to the split of night 1 and night 2, it does feel like we're going to have more heel wins on night 1 and more face wins, and more of a future dynamic going forwards for night 2. So certain big matches as regards the end of the bloodline and people that they're really going to be putting their faith in going forwards are going to be night 2 focused. I think Seth Rollins and Logan Paul might be the one that gets the spot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too, actually. I like that.
Yeah, and as kind of speaking with like what other matches could be there, I have this one out there just because I think it is somewhat relevant, and I do think it deserves some more attention. But we talked about Cody Rhodes, we've talked about Roman Reigns, we could talk about the impact of Sami Zayn and the Bloodline this year. But is it time to put some respect on the Ray versus Dominic storyline right now? If anybody watched SmackDown last week, that pop that Ray had when he finally decked his kid was absolutely just amazing. That is a culmination of a great story told. We saw that at the Royal Rumble when Sami Zayn smoked Roman Reigns in the back with the steel chair. Now we're seeing it with Rey Mysterio and his son. So is it time to finally say this is one of the best non-title stories in WWE going right now?
I would give it
Ed,
that
we'll start with you.
position personally. So, go ahead.
Sorry.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
Tom, go ahead.
No. Ed, go ahead.
All right, fine. I don't know. I honestly don't think so, because I think that they slow played this too much. I think that they really took their time, and I think to its detriment. It reminds me of the fact that we all disliked how long they took between Undertaker and Kane. Way back when Kane first debuted, and Taker was like, "I'll never fight my brother." And then he ended up fighting his brother. But they took forever to get to that moment. It just felt like they took what seems like 8 months to get to one match. And I don't think the payoff's going to be worth it. It's been fun to watch, but it's not what I think that they could have done. I think they could have done the first match at Rumble, or something more at the Rumble other than just taking Ray out, and built to the final match being here, where it be, ironically, I think I would have done a ladder match for the mask, is what I would have done. I would have had him unmasked on television at some point and had this be Ray's career versus Ray's mask.
Tom, I will go to you.
It was a long, long time ago when Rey Mysterio picked up a copy of a 2K game and said, I can't wait to go home and beat my kids.
13 years.
13 years. And now here we are, and that exact storyline is playing out on TV. Rey Mysterio could not wait and cannot wait anymore to beat his kid. He's right there waiting. We've got all the allusions to Eddie really well played. WrestleMania 21. 18 years ago, we saw Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, and now Eddie's son against Rey to get revenge for him. There are so many rolling little storylines and tangents coming together here. The comparison to Undertaker and Kane is very fair, but that was a 10-month-long story. 10 months between the cage, the Hell in a Cell door being ripped off, and the actual match. It took forever to get there. The Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio isn't taking that long, but I do agree it's taking long for now because the way that wrestling is consumed now, the way that all content and entertainment is consumed now, there is so much of it that we live in a platform whereby if you're on YouTube, the focus right now is on shorts. If you're on Twitch, the focus right now is on laying off quite a lot of their staff and just hoping for the best. It's difficult right now to maintain attention in a TikTok world. I feel like Rey and Dominic have done that. We have just hit the fever pitch at the right time. The problem now is they've got a whole other week to go. They need to stay where they are and not lose anything. I'm excited for the match. I think that's what I'm most excited for. But also, to be honest, I think Dominic's been an absolute revelation. He's been fantastic since turning heel, and I can't fault a single thing he's done so far.
Bobby.
And I'll stay in my corner and behave.
You're gonna make me
This
follow
is the show where we
that.
talk over everyone, as I am perfectly shown example of. Sorry, Bobby.
Yeah, but I mean, what more can I really add to it? I'm personally a big fan of long-term storytelling because I don't live in a TikTok world in my own brain because I'm a 40-year-old man that still hasn't grasped that concept yet. So long-term storytelling is what I grew up on. It's what I like. It's what I still like. So this to me, it's kind of a throwback. It's simple storytelling, but simple storytelling seems to be working in a modern way at times and stuff too. And because of the, like Tom said, the revelation of Dominic, it adds that much more, flavor to this particular setup. As you mentioned, Paris, the pop that happened on Friday when Ray finally attacked him. Yeah, everybody was expecting it, but they were excited to see it at the same time because Dom has gotten himself so over as that arrogant young heel that when he finally gets popped by, his father, who's been aggravating all this time, and when he's talking smack about his mom, it's gonna get over with the crowd, and it might be simple, but it's simple but good at the same time, and this will still be a good showing coming up at WrestleMania between the two of them. I think having a nice one-on-one actual wrestling match at this point, I don't need to see more gimmicky stuff all the time. I'm glad they're gonna have a one-on-one.
Can I just jump in on there?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
Two things I want to point out. Firstly, you don't live in a TikTok world, and yet you're doing pretty well on the YouTube shorts I've been watching lately.
Well, thank you.
And secondly, it's very typical of WWE that when it comes to WrestleMania, we will be actively cheering for a father beating up his child. Just want to point that one out. Very wrestling.
That's wrestling for you.
You're
though,
really
right?
about that topic today, Tom.
Apparently so.
We just want to say that we here at Olay do not support beating of the children unless it's in the wrestling ring. But no, to also kind of just, take on the Dominic Mysterio thing, I thought he sold this whole segment absolutely beautifully with him just just egging on his dad this whole time about wanting to hit him and things like that. And then berating his own mother, his own sister, like just unthinkable things to see in just in general. And then all of a sudden, Rey Mysterio clocking him and all saying, it's like, you do not talk that way to your mother. That is my wife. And he really puts it in layman's terms to Dominic Mysterio. Did these things as a man, you just don't do to another man and their family. And I love the fact that was the first time we're actually seeing Dominic maybe not a part of the Mysterio family and now being that outsider. But then him just sitting there in disbelief that he finally got hit by his dad. And now his dad's willing to do the one thing that he never thought he would actually accept to. And he's actually gotten what he's bargained for. And now he's actually scared. I thought that was just a master piece of selling and reacting by Dominic Mysterio. And I think that segment alone has shown how much he has improved since that very first time he's been in a ring.
I'll just let you push those from
get
now
along
on
the buttons. It's the Hispanic parents, I tell you, from Astrid. Temper, I guess. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, no. But just your guys' thoughts on on Dominic Mysterio, because he took a lot of crow early on in his tenure, especially during the pandemic time. And then now, since he's with the Judgment Day, he's really grown. And it's kind of just amazing to see, because there's a lot of people thinking we should put him in NXT. He should go back down there. And then really it was kind of I think Finn Balor himself said it in an interview where, you know, he really wanted to work with him and help him out. And if that's really the case, he's done a phenomenal job so far.
Yeah, I mean, Dominic, again, has stood out like a sore thumb because it's night and day compared to what they had him doing. His heel work has been better than his babyface work, and it was needed. Him as an arrogant young heel just seems to work at, and that's what they've gone with. And yeah, it's fantastic. He's got a great working relationship there with Rhea Ripley as well, too. The way they feed off of each other, the segments that they're doing together have worked in favor of both of them, in fact. So I'm really happy to see it. I think this is great for Dominic. I think the only way to look at this is I think Dominic needs the big win over his father at WrestleMania as well, too. I think that is only going to add to his momentum going forward. And I don't think it hurts Ray in the least to take the loss to his son.
As regards Judgment Day in general, there is quite a lot to really dive into here. They've not had the rub of the green so far, but when it comes to the addition of Dominic Mysterio, it really did take them into the next gear. So one of my first reports that really put me on the map when it came to news was in around June 2019, when I reported that Dominic Mysterio would be debuting without featuring in NXT at any point. That was a year before he debuted officially in-ring against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, I believe it was, next year in 2020. The reason for that is because it was part of the deal to get Rey Mysterio. Part of the deal, part of the offer was, I will come to your company, I will reduce my rate potentially, but my son gets what he needs in terms of training, in terms of opportunities. And then, of course, Seth Rollins made the choice out of the available options to work with Dominic Mysterio. Dominic's in-ring was the focus at that time, but I did not realize just how good a storyteller he was going to be. I didn't necessarily think this heel turn was going to work, but it absolutely has. And a large part of that is the influence of the people around him. Even before he turned heel, there was something just so satisfying about watching Rhea Ripley beat the hell out. I can't really describe what it was that made it just so. Maybe it was the joy in his eyes when he was being choked out on a turnbuckle, but you could tell something was building here. Personally, I think WrestleMania, Dominic's got the moment. Judgment Day have the moment top to bottom, and I think all of Judgment Day have got a very, very exciting future. Yeah. Very exciting after Mania.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with everything there too. I think it is going to be their WrestleMania to be had. Yeah, I 100%. Parrish.
It's almost why that if he is in, I have skimmed through the participants of this Andre the Giant Memorial. But if Damian Priest is in that, he might be a solid lock or a prediction. And you have a smirk on your face that I did detect there, Tom. Do you have any insider information about that?
I do not believe Damian Priest showed up on the graphic from this Friday's SmackDown advertising the Battle Royal. That said, Bobby Lashley and LA Knight are both involved in the match. It'd be difficult to look past Bobby Lashley unless there is another plan in place for him.
That's fair.
Yeah. Before we kind of go to the next the topic, do you foresee Bobby Lashley only doing that, or do you, like, just from a personal standpoint, do you think there's going to be more within WrestleMania? Because that's on SmackDown, that Battle Royal. Am I mistaken?
You are not mistaken. The Battle Royal is taking place on SmackDown as it has the last few years. It's been relegated to that position when I do feel they need something on the pre-show. I would have liked some Battle Royals, but the WrestleMania payday is still very much in play. Bobby Lashley, I do see appearing on the WrestleMania card in some way, even if it is just an open challenge and a squash of LA Knight, as has been one of the rumored options. Bray Wyatt, though, it doesn't seem like he will be making it. And honestly, with how Bray Wyatt's been going, I'm kind of okay with that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think
switching
what to do next, right? That's what I feel is necessary next.
All right, gonna switch gears up a little bit as we'll get back to WWE and WrestleMania, as that's, as we said, the big elephant in the room, as we're less than a week away. But we're going to turn our gears into Impact Wrestling, as they got hit with a gigantic, unfortunate set of news, as both Mickie James, their current women's champion, and their current heavyweight champion, Josh Alexander, are both sidelined due to injury. Maybe the shining light is that Mickie James might not be out for as much of a time as Josh Alexander, but right now it's out there where she was supposed to go up against Jordynne Grace in a match on Friday's Sacrifice. She obviously could not make that. She was also slated to compete, I believe, in a triple threat at the New Japan and Impact combined show there in a match. I believe it was against Deonna Purrazzo, Miyu Yamashita, and Giselle Shaw, as Ed is now returning. So the decision was made to have at Rebellion a match where Jordynne Grace would then face off the winner of this four-way, which now it's going to remain a four-way with the addition of Masha Slamovich. Multiverse United, yeah. I'm just flat out tired of the multiverse as a phrase. Is anybody else like just tired of all that?
No, I host the Marvel show. No, we have to talk about the multiverse.
No, but that's what I mean. It's a Marvel thing. It's not a wrestling thing. That and Forbidden Door. Like, dear God, people.
Ed, I think this is how you hear about the cancellation of your show. Sorry, mate.
That's fine. I'll move to Colohue Entertainment Complex. And we'll be all set.
So anyway, the match between Jordynne Grace, the winner of this four-way, will be at Rebellion for a women's championship match, and will become a three-way if Mickie James is available for that. Just now switching gears to Impact, to the women of this. What are your guys' opinions? We'll start with Bobby this time.
Well, that was a real mouthful, wasn't it? Take what you want away from that one. Yeah.
I'm going to drink my Rogue energy drink.
Okay. No, this is just terrible news for Impact Wrestling. To have both of your champions out before big events such as this is terrible. Doesn't matter what the company is, but you got a star in Mickie James, who you're taking off of that card. That is massive. Like it's just really sucks for them. Josh Alexander was having a phenomenal run as their champion. Again, one of the highlights of their show, and it just really, really does suck. And you've got up there who's set to make the next Impact. I mean, there's a lot of great names over there, but who's ready to go right now? You could make an argument that not necessarily into the title picture altogether, but somebody who could be highlighted more is the X division. I mean, you've got Trey Miguel over there who's starting to make a name for himself. He might not be ready to pull the trigger on as a world champion just yet, but obviously they see that in the future for him. So possibly having him highlighted on their shows a little bit more to get him in front of the crowd, as often as possible, as somebody who could be, a next big star in the company. He might have an opportunity now with the main champion out of the way temporarily.
Tom? I just kind of want to point out, if you guys want to say something, just say. Don't wait for me.
Well, I did, and we all had a good laugh at that. So, as regards Impact, this is a huge stroke of bad luck, the worst possible time, and it really does impact. This is when wrestling is at its highest. WrestleMania season is when everyone involved in wrestling is hyped for wrestling. So it's really taken a lot of momentum away. Impact has been slowly but surely continuing their build, providing good quality matches with good quality competitors. There are logical people to claim championships. Jordynne Grace, for example, is right there, available. We know she can carry the title. And honestly, with the way they were sort of lining up, the last rodeo, as it were, Mickie James could still come back to this, but maybe it is time for her to walk away from the championship for a little bit, work with other companies, do other things, and then come back for the big final hurrah. As regards Josh Alexander, I'd go out of left field on this one. I'd be making a phone call to Triple H and asking how long we could use Bobby Lashley for. I'd be bringing him back very, very temporarily to reclaim, however briefly, the Impact World Championship, get a few eyes there, and then have a storyline whereas Bobby Lashley says, I've been disrespected, no match at WrestleMania. I'm just going to go somewhere else and do a brief excursion there. That's what I'd be looking at personally. He would undoubtedly be beaten by returning Josh Alexander when that happens, but that's what I would be considering personally.
I mean, I think
we'll go to you.
I think we've gotten to a problem where
I was doing that anyway.
You've gotten to the point where you've told the Steve Maclin story, and let's not forget the Maclin in the room here, because Steve Maclin's done such a great job of building this character and getting to the moment where he can get that one-on-one shot and beat Josh Alexander. Stick with the plan. It sucks for Maclin, like Astrid said. It's just just waiting for Maclin to win it, and it was probably the plan anyways. I say you stick with the plan. Maclin was the guy who's next on the cusp. I think you stick with the plan. You go with Steve Maclin. You give this guy the opportunity, because it's fine to throw somebody else into the mix, and it's fine to grab a big name and go, we need to fill a slot. But Macklin's been sitting there for a year trying to earn this opportunity and bitching and whining and moaning and complaining that he always gets overlooked, that something comes up and he gets missed. I don't know what happens to him and his character if you overlook him again and you put this title on Kushida, or if you bring in a Bobby Lashley, or if you bring up a Trey Miguel or a Chris Bay or an Ace Austin, people who are on that lower level ready to make the climb, and just say, let's give them an opportunity. Then you lose out on what potential Steve Maclin could have. And if you lose Steve Maclin, I think you lose Deonna Purrazzo. Because as a married couple, I don't think they want to wrestle anywhere where the other's not. I think Deonna's still an Impact because she wants to stay closer to Steve. And I'd be worried about what happens if you don't keep him happy, if you don't at least give him the opportunity. He's killing it right now. He's been doing such a great job, and his rise to prominence, along with Josh's great run, had this great line graph where both lines were getting ready to meet each other, and Rebellion was going to be that moment. And it was going to be a great match. And we just lose it. And now we have to have Kushida. And don't get me wrong, I love Kushida, but he's not a world champion. New Japan, the company that thinks the most of Kushida, never in their wildest dreams thought he was worthy of competing for, let alone winning, the IWGP Championship.
So I'm just going to jump in once again, just on that one. Firstly, I just want to celebrate that we are highlighting the wonder of wrestling using line graphs. That's I've been waiting for this day. I have been waiting for this day. Secondly, as regards Kushida, he wasn't really there in New Japan long enough. Even Will Ospreay was a super junior for way beyond what you would expect before making the climb up. That is just the way that New Japan works.
I know. It's just, I don't see Kushida carrying the flag for any brand. He's great. I love him. He has fantastic matches. But you can't send Kushida on an interview spree, especially in the United States. You can't send him to 5 radio stations in a day, even with a translator, and have good content.
Should that preclude someone from being worthy of championships, though?
I think it should preclude somebody from being a world champion.
Okay.
If in this day and age, with the media the way it is, if you can't make yourself known and promote your company in the way you need to, I don't know if you should be able to hold a world championship. Because your world championship needs to, in theory, should be the face of your company. When you have a heel like MJF, as dastardly as a heel as he is, and as bad a face as he can be at times, he is the face of that company at the moment. He's the person going out and doing the interviews, holding the title, doing all those things. Roman Reigns, The Miz, people like that are the people who WWE say, here, go out into the world and do 20 interviews all at once. While I don't think Kushida should be penalized for not being able to speak English as well as some others, you get into a dangerous proposition when you say, we're going to make you our world champion, and you can't go ahead and...
We've been reined in a little bit there, right?
Fine. I hear the Oscars music. I'm done. Fine. Bye.
I thought it was a fair question.
no,
Apparently not.
so
Apparently not.
No. It's just Parrish, trust me.
Honestly, get invited onto a show and then they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go. Yeah, you're in charge. Whatever."
This is what
We have such an active chat. I just wanted to get involved.
So this is what happened when me and Tom were doing NXT watch-alongs.
Yeah.
We'd be watching NXT and talking about 50 other things that don't involve NXT in the slightest.
We are not allowed
No
to
way.
just be us
Going
two
off
together.
the rails, definitely not our style, is it?
I didn't learn it from Parrish, I promise.
Copyright infringement. Damn it. But no, Ed, you made a good point about like Deanna and Macklin, though. But if we're talking about the other side of the bed, Mickie James is out. Nick Aldis is right there. Would he not be a great fit to help add star power to the current Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Championship scene right now? I'm not saying throw the title on him, but we're talking about Macklin. We need a baby face for Macklin. This could be a great way to bring back somebody like, Nick Aldis. Another name that I just think would be such a great change of direction is Bully Ray. He is easily your top heel right now. This guy can definitely carry the ball. And if you're feeling sympathetic for Macklin not getting that opportunity, that could very well steer him into a different type of character in the sense of we could see Macklin versus Bully Ray. I don't think a lot of people would 100% be against that. So this is, I think, a very interesting time for Impact Wrestling and what their next step is, as they clearly have to change direction on the spot. Not an ideal situation, if you ask me.
No. And also to just make sure we don't forget about the ladies here. As far as, what to do with Mickie James, I think you have so much talent in your women's division below the Jordan Grace, below the Mickie James level, below Deonna Purrazzo. I think this is the time that you invest in Masha Slamovich. This is the time that you invest in Tasha Steelz. This is the time that you invest in Giselle Shaw. Give Jessica a chance. Give Rosemary a run with this belt. There are plenty of people below the level that you can go ahead and just start promoting some of the women who need a little bit of time and they need a little bit of sizzle at the top. Let them just fight it out and duke it out. Do Queen of the Mountain again and have some of these ladies lower down the card make an impact and just come up there and take this shot for themselves.
Yeah, and their women's division is probably one of the best out there, period. So, I mean, yeah, Mickey James brings a lot of star power to that, but they're in very safe hands with who they've got on board right now. I don't think that one will be as devastating as losing Josh Alexander at the moment, especially with the run that he was on. But they have a strong men's division as well too. So I think while it sucks, Impact are still in a prime enough place to be able to go forward with new names in that fold.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something I've never done live on a show.
To skate on the rails.
No, I mean Lawrence is flat out saying going off the rails is how Twitch works. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Don't at me. I'm not gonna at you, but what I'm gonna do is saying, hey, Busting Out has never had a female guest on. If you like going off the rails, Lauren, maybe, just maybe, you would like to set some history and become the first female.
And we wait.
Remember,
there's a 10, 20 second delay.
And with that being said, I know you guys didn't expect that, so I'm going to say this. Out of nowhere, Randy Orton said to return to WWE sooner than later. Tom, why don't you please take the reins on this one?
Tom, I apologize.
Tell the story. Tell the story.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I have to tell this one start to finish one more time. So as many of you will know, as many of you have dipped in recently, thank you kindly, for our spoiler warning shows, which we do on Monday and Friday, it is a open Q&A. I report the news I have, and then I answer whatever questions people have. It's very high tempo because we get a lot of questions. There is an element of meme to a lot of these shows. For example, Edge, you're right here, might as well use it. If I did this and then did that, what does that mean?
The way.
The way, that indeed. Because I could not report that Johnny Gargano is coming back at this week's Raw. So what I did was every time I got a question about it, I said, oh, Austin Theory might be getting shown the way. And then the spoiler warning before the Raw when he returned, no comment, just a lot of that. Just a lot of that. That continues. Everything being on the table has become a meme of its own as well. And Randy Orton is now the bane of my existence because I received... I'm going to go with 35 questions directly about Randy Orton, particularly off the news from Peter Insider Elite that we may see Randy Orton sooner rather than later. I have already reported this news as regards Randy Orton from early February. And in fact, just for the hell of it, I've got a link to the video, which I'm going to post into the YouTube side. If I'm allowed to post links, I have no idea, but it's there, so we'll call it done. Because I was directing everyone to this individual video which answers all of their questions. Then people started to realize that I was getting a bit frustrated with this. And as all good chats do, they made it worse. They made it so much worse.
They really did.
And then I come in here before we go live, tell that story, and then this little ticker across the bottom right here goes live as well. There are rumors that Randy Orton will be returning around WrestleMania time. In my video covering the topic early February, I did state we could see him at WrestleMania, but I was not aware that he was cleared as of yet. Randy Orton is on a personal mission, from everything I'm hearing, to make it back to wrestling. He will not allow this to be a career ender. He'll be back as soon as he can. RK Bro is not over, but Randy Orton should be appearing soon. If not at WrestleMania, then shortly afterwards.
That's fair.
And that is the end of my commentary on it.
Before we go any further, I just want to direct anybody, if you have any questions regarding Randy Orton, to make sure that you're following this guy right here down below on the ticket.
Yeah, follow me. I'll give you all the news about Randy Orton.
That was too good to not do it.
It's so funny because Tom's chats are always 30 people asking the exact same question in different ways. And it was all Sasha Banks until Sasha Banks came back. And then it was all Liv Morgan. And now it's all Randy Orton. And post-Mania, it's going to be something... it's probably going to be Roman.
It's going to be Jay White. It has to be Jay White after.
No, because Tom loves the Jay White crap.
I love Jay White. No, whoa. You do not call Jay White crap.
I can't get him to shut up about Jay White.
Well, I'm a fan of Jay White. How is that a bad thing? The man is coming to America once again. He's going to be involved in everything. And you are just being mean. You are jealous of Jay White. That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't need to be knife pervert.
Everyone needs a little knife pervert in their life. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, Randy Orton.
Best
somehow
time to
got
turn
Randy
to you,
Orton.
Bobby. Go.
No. Ed's got the floor. I'm listening. I like this.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Tom before the show on Discord in the mod chat on Discord, and I told him I'm going to keep him on the rails. I'm going to make sure that they use you properly today, and then I just decided to just blankly forget to do that.
No, we break everybody here. Everybody. Every single person that joins.
I'm all for Randy Orton coming back whenever. Like, do I miss Randy Orton? Sure, kind of. His mustache was cool. But, like, do I need him on my TV screen? Do we have a spot that I really desperately want to see him back in? Do I really want to see him and Riddle back? I guess. I don't miss him. I don't feel like he's been gone long. I know he's been gone long since the summer, but... Yeah.
But you don't want Orton to come back, fight Gunther? That would be a good one.
No, I don't need him to fight Gunther. Gunther has plenty of other things to do.
Yeah, like fighting everybody.
Yeah.
I have a situation that I think would be a little bit refreshing to see. You don't have to necessarily do a match. You don't have to do anything. But what if there's a kind of a lull time in the WrestleMania, and then we hear LA Knight's theme, and he comes out, he does like a couple minute promo explaining to why you need LA Knight a part of WrestleMania. And then out of nowhere, we see Randy Orton just hits him with an RKO just to get the people back up on their feet, just to give them that moment. Kind of like we had Elias with John Cena years back. And then we go into the next graphic, maybe a title match of some sort. But that would be a great little segment to say, hey, look who's back. And he gives the rub to LA Knight, who I think we all would appreciate getting that, push moving forward.
Another thing, speaking of that same idea, what I would love to see on the Raw after Mania is a backstage segment where you see Cody walking around with his new championships, and he's just walking through the back, like coming to the arena, and he just catches Randy Orton, and they just eye each other, and then they just move on.
And then Jay White, more importantly.
No Jay White. Jay White goes to Impact.
I like it.
Jay White goes to AEW. Jay White goes back to New Japan. Or New Zealand.
I like this
How
Jay
about he
White
goes to that
WWE
place
thing. Yeah, I'm on board.
You know where he should go? Back to
Yeah.
New Zealand and work that place that Bobby and Papa Smokes are talking about on Thursday
SPW
night.
New Zealand.
Yeah, there we go.
They're creating new stars. They're creating the next Jay Whites of the world so that they can come to WWE.
I mean, if Jay White's listening and he's not busy on Sundays at about 12:15 p.m. Eastern, I mean, I'm just saying. Just going to throw it out.
When did this turn into a recruitment show?
It's always a recruitment.
It's always a recruitment show.
Bobby, when did we start the show?
30 episodes ago.
I made a career in independent wrestling. It's always about the recruitment.
Bobby, do you have any thoughts on Randy Orton?
Do I have thoughts on Randy Orton? Tons of them, but they're not appropriate for the show. No, Randy. No, I'm looking forward to him being back because I mean, Randy's one of the best in-ring workers that's come along in decades. So he's always going to bring you quality in everything he does. And the nice thing about what he was doing there, when he was teaming with Matt Riddle and everything like that, it was that he was putting over somebody young that he believes in. Again, he's getting in there, he's doing that thing, he's doing the veteran thing and getting young guys over, and that's what I liked about what he was doing. It was a very selfless time in the career of Randy Orton, and I hope to see more of that as he's getting towards the end and being able to put on some really great classic matches before he decides to hang up his boots.
I could see Randy Orton leading a faction of stoners.
I'm in.
I thought he already was with Matt Riddle.
That's one guy, mate. One guy. One guy does not make a faction.
Are you
That's
sure Matt Riddle's just one person?
Hey, wait.
Not entirely.
When we stoners get together, it's like a whole bunch of us.
Get Pete Dunne involved in there again. That combination of three will be everything I want in life.
Parrish, do we have another topic?
You're right, Ed. You're right. Also, you want to
We
move
do,
on.
but,
I've been talking
since
about Randy
we're
Orton for 4 days.
That's it. Lauren's in too.
I think this goes back to
Hey!
Parrish's request.
See? Recruitment. Just
I
saying.
remember when Parrish asked about that. Yeah, it was like a lifetime ago.
I have a 50% recruitment rate today. It's great. It's a pass.
Hey, shoot
I'm
Shoot
like
your
way better
shots.
than 90% of people in Major League Baseball now. Yes. But since we're talking about getting over and whatnot, I think if everyone out there watching needs to get over the hump, because when they wake up, they're just not feeling up to snuff with their energy level. So make sure you go to rogueenergy.com. Use the promo code OLEPODS to save 10% off your order. And by chance, if you go there and you don't know what to pick, well, let me show you a little video including some of their flavors that might intense you.
Ooh, that's a lot of flavors.
And more
Yeah,
coming.
that is a lot of flavors. So, yeah, the choice is not easy for you, but you know what? They're all great, as I'm enjoying some blue raspberry right now. Terrific. But we are 1 week away from WrestleMania, 6 days to be exact. What are we all looking forward to in regards to the showcase of the Immortals, the granddaddy of them all, WrestleZania, Mania? Ooh, almost caught myself. Yeah, we'll just start off with whoever wants to take the reins here. Yeah, WrestleMania, 6 days away.
Yeah, okay. I'll start it for us. What am I looking forward to? I mean, as with every WrestleMania, I'm looking forward to really just having the opportunity to hang out with good people, watching the show, sitting there having drinks, having a good time, having fun. Regardless how the matches turn out, you know what? It's just a fun time sitting down watching all that wrestling. Probably eating things that we probably shouldn't be eating so much because health wise they're not the best for us, but who cares? It's WrestleMania, so we'll have a little bit of a break from the diet this weekend and everything. In terms of matches, of course, like the ones that have been built up beautifully feud wise, of course we want to see Owens and Sammy with the Usos. We want to see Roman and Cody. I mean, the story's been beautifully built up. It's a WrestleMania that actually has a lot going on into it without it just being stuff that's been thrown together. And that has been such a long time since they've had that kind of build and that kind of writing going into a WrestleMania that I'm actually excited about seeing how it all unfolds. Even if it does come across like it's going to be predictable, I don't care, because that's exactly the payoff we're expecting and that we want, and we'll be satisfied at the end of the night.
I mean, I think as content creators, I'm going to speak for all four of us. on this
Gunter is the most exciting one that I am personally looking forward to. In the triple threat match. Sorry, Ed, you said something. Sorry.
No.
You
It's fine. It's fine.
You go
I'm
ahead.
not
You go
important.
ahead.
Mr. Colohue, can I... Okay,
Did you just nearly call me Mr. McMahon?
I was gonna call you Mr. Moderator, but no, I'm the moderator. You're the host.
This is such good.
Ed, what are you excited for? Go on, give me.
I was gonna say, as content creators, I think we can speak for all of us when I think about WrestleMania, the week that we're about to have. I think about the sleep that I'm going to need post-Mania. Parrish and I were talking about it the other day. I've been talking with Tom about it for a few weeks. I mean, we're getting ready to go through serious like show withdrawals, because as Tom knows, Tom's got, I think, 8 days straight.
Yeah, 8 days straight, and over the course of the 4 days from SmackDown to Friday, SmackDown on Friday to Raw, 18 hours in 4 days of direct stream between the watch parties, not even counting spoiler warning.
Oh wow!
And for me, it's we've got Parrish and I will be doing our preview shows for Saturday and Sunday mornings. We're gonna have review shows both Saturday night and Sunday night. I have stand and deliver stuff for Thursday or Saturday afternoon. because of course NXT decides we're just gonna throw it on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and I'm like, fine. As I rip my hair out, but that main event's gonna be great. It's just like, that's the match I'm looking forward to. Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. I love everything WWE's doing on the main roster, but give me my NXT. Let's give my NXT some love. Carmelo Hayes finally getting that shot to be the star that he is on a stage like Los Angeles with a WrestleMania crowd for an NXT show. There's nothing better.
So the thing you're most excited for WrestleMania is not WrestleMania.
I host the NXT show, Tom.
You also host the Marvel show, so you're most excited about Marvel at WrestleMania. Is that what you're looking for?
I'm always excited about Marvel at WrestleMania. That sadly, Batista's not there this year.
No, sadly not. You know,
he's not going in the Hall of Fame. That would have been great.
The day may come, and he'll just have more films under his belt. It'll be fine. Ed, don't panic.
I'm panicking.
Don't panic. Don't panic. It's all okay. Jay White will save you.
No.
Now, WrestleMania. I am really quite excited for some of the matchups that we've got. For example, I mentioned Gunter versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. I still think this could be the best triple threat WrestleMania has ever put on. Potentially the best triple threat WWE has ever put on because of the quality we are guaranteed, even just from the match of Clash of the Castle. I'm really excited for Logan Paul, Seth Rollins. I don't know why, but I am. I just think those two are going to gel really nicely. The tag team match, the wrestling's going to be fantastic in that. We know we're going to get quality out of Charlotte versus Rhea. We've seen it before. We've never seen Belair versus Asuka, but we know they can go as well. The match quality is going to be tremendous. And then at the end of it, you've got Cody Rhodes and Roman, and I don't know about that one, but you get what you get.
Parrish, get in on there.
I think I'm looking forward to something I think has been lost over the last few years. Yeah, we've got a little bit with here and there, especially with the Kofi Mania. I'm waiting to get back those amazing WrestleMania moments. I'm waiting to see those grand WrestleMania entrances. Everything that as a kid I loved about WrestleMania, I'm hoping I get it back. This is Triple H's first WrestleMania behind the Helmsley. So I'm very interested to see kind of the little nuances he now wants to add on to. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Ed. Yeah. Paul White's or Jay White's coming too. Just do this. Just do that.
He's hosting the whole damn thing. 2 nights of Jay White on your screen.
He's not even that good.
Just for you, Ed.
Whoa. You take that back.
He's not even that good.
You take that back.
God damn it! I want Jay White on. I want him on our review show for both nights, just so we can hang out with Ed.
Ed, you be careful. I'll get the crew on you again.
This just in, Carmelo Hayes is injured, stepping in for the NXT title matches now. Jay White.
Astrid, I'll quit.
But yeah,
You didn't try to quit yourself. You friend
I'm waiting
someone else.
to see kind of.
This just in. Next Sunday on Busting Out, our all Jay White special. It will be Jay White everything. Jay White masks.
This is the appropriate time to put up this comment now.
Lauren likes Jay White. That's all I'm saying.
I know. Everybody's allowed to have a little bit of bad taste.
He's a great wrestler, handsome man, great talker, one of the best. Come on.
At best, he's overrated. He's not that good.
What? Who hurt you?
I've watched Jay White wrestle in Ring of Honor. He's not that good.
This is great.
Yeah, you talk about Reggie and NXT being good. Weird.
No, I don't talk about Reggie being good.
Hey, I've watched your shows. That's all you talk about.
When did this become about my dislike of Jay White, not about the guest?
When you made it like that. You opened a floodgate there.
I'm being called out in the comments.
You were getting destroyed by Lauren.
I am.
Jay White.
Overrated, not that good. He's just not.
He's going to come
He's
on here
all
next
right.
week and he's going to be very...
Is Jay White on Cameo? I swear if he's on Cameo now.
Ed, you're the reason he's not going to be on Busting Out next week.
That's fine.
He's
That's my cross to bear. It's fine.
We're gonna get him on purpose just so Ed can hang out. What's it cost?
So, Bobby, we are on topic. What are you looking forward to WrestleMania?
There's a topic.
No. See, this is how far disconnected we become. I was the first one to answer this question.
He was.
And my answer was Jay White, of course, because who isn't?
When in doubt to get it back on the rail, I just throw it to you.
Oh no! This off the rails is too much fun this week.
I hit refresh and it just went there.
Jay White is thankfully not on Cameo.
It's thankfully, well, maybe we need to change that. Everybody has a price, as a famous man once said.
Your mom's underrated and not that good.
Wow. and the KO punch has been tossed.
We may now have a problem in the mod chat on my Discord.
It's fine. I'm okay.
Sounded like you're over there. No,
I stand by my
I
stand.
was just about to say that.
Right, to get us back on topic, So Jay White, that's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, it's what we're talking about. Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. 2 nights of Jay White.
There you go.
Oh. So
You're going to be in a few shorts, Ed. You know this, right?
Oh yeah.
For sure. I'm all over it right after this is done.
It's fine.
So if anybody thought this was great content, let me show you what else OLE produces with this week.
I like how we ran out of the original video. We just had to throw something on at the end because of all the Mania coverage.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say it's never broken the 1 minute mark on that video, so today was a little bit different on that one. So yeah,
so the show's not over. That felt a little bit like the show was over. Nobody told me.
No.
Okay.
Good.
No, that's just what we got coming up this week.
Stop that conversation.
Conversation's
great.
So that video that we just saw is the video that I always forget to play on Taking Over.
You didn't forget this last Tuesday. I saw it up there.
I know, and Parrish was very, very happy about that.
But no, I mean, we got a lot of great stuff coming up this week.
I may be in the
busy
comments
week for
telling him
us
to
here.
play the video. Yeah.
But it's a busy schedule for us here at OLE this week. Tons of great content coming out, wrestling related, non-wrestling related. I know it's not on the calendar, but I know the Paramindful team are trying to get some content ready for this week, but some technical difficulties happened as things do. So hopefully they'll be able to get something out this week as well too. So we got a big plate this week all across the board.
Yeah, and this is kind of the time of the show where we do kind of open it up to the chat in there if there's anything else you'd like to talk about. And I'm also going to do this. Tom, if there's any other topics out there that you think deserve attention, how about we bring it up?
I feel like I'm being fed a line, but I wasn't made aware of it beforehand.
No, he's just.
Oh, no, I'm just.
I think they're trying to get back to the JY conversation.
Oh, okay.
Well, we weren't, but seeing as you're so eager to end, I mean,
you just shut down a conversation that was like going on for a long time.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom, I'm going to ask you a more direct question then.
Leave it.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with this.
This is another one Tom loves to talk about that he doesn't hear about at all on the YouTube videos and comments and mod chat and anything else.
Well, we could talk about Mindy's Bakery instead if you guys want to do that.
No, go ahead.
What?
Ask your question. It's fine.
No, the dill pickles are way better. But no, the one thing I do want to ask is the one thing that we do tend to see after WrestleMania are either call-ups or free agent signings or stuff like that. Do you have any insight of if this is going to happen this year or not? And if so, who are you hearing about?
Jay White.
Okay. Look, we're doing this again.
No, I'm feeding you a line.
Okay. Let me run this through because there has been a lot of call-ups cancelled since Triple H first came back into position. First came into position as head of creative. There were a number of call-ups planned at the time, but people who were brought back instead replaced what would have been those call-ups. Bron Breakker, for example, there's been 5 or 6 different plans for a call-up and for his use, but instead different people have come back. There's been conversations about plans that would have resulted in him taking the Braun Strowman role, the Bronson Reed role, etc., but they haven't really played out. Bron Breakker is one you hear about pretty much non-stop whenever you ask this particular question. There's also plenty in the women's division. Cora Jay's been mentioned, Indy Hartwell's been mentioned. Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction would have been up at WrestleMania, but we are where we are now. And I do still see Toxic Attraction without Mandy Rose coming up, but obviously they have now separated. And Gigi Dolan is still considered the Shawn Michaels of the two. So we'll see how that plays out long term. As regards others, there is still heavy rumors about an incoming draft. My predictions are going to be going live soon. I could see, for example, Judgment Day moving to SmackDown to replace Bloodline as the top faction of that division. And just on the outside here, just before we get to the CM Punk part, because that's definitely not something that happened to WWE, but there's plenty on that. Yep, Jay White currently actively negotiating with both the WWE and AEW. There is a discussion in play about the Blade Runner finisher, because obviously Bray Wyatt uses Sister Abigail, so that's in play at the moment. There is a lot of discussions ongoing. If Jay White does come into the WWE, they are pitching some pretty monster storylines for him, some pretty big name opponents, and it will not involve much time, if any, in NXT.
Hopefully they find people who can make him look good.
You break my heart.
He's been sitting on that one for a while, you can tell.
Breaking news. Somebody reported. Breaking news. Somebody reported. Breaking news. Somebody reported.
I don't know why that's the clip that we're playing.
Because it's breaking news.
I may not be a mod on tomorrow's spoiler warning, and we'll find out tomorrow.
You know you'll be there, Ed.
No, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Whether or not I still have mod status or not is going to be a question. Because if I'm a mod, he can't time me out.
That is true.
That is true. So another thing, too, that I thought was very refreshing to hear this year is usually around this time we do hear about budget cuts. We haven't heard about that this year in terms of releases. Can you confirm this, Tom? And if so, is this something like from a Universal thing that we're just happy that it's not a thing this year?
It doesn't sound like there are going to be much, if any, budget cuts made later on, right after WrestleMania. As we get closer to the sale, we will start to hear about budget cuts again. That, unfortunately, is the main reason we're not hearing anything right now. Once we start to get preferred bidders in, we'll start to get a real view of what the WWE is going to look like in the new world, as it were, who will be dropped and so on. But Triple H and Nick Khan have been working pretty closely together since Triple H came in to ensure that people who are currently receiving contracts or returning are on a lot less money. Braun Strowman, for example, is on a lot less money than he was when he was released by the company. That's playing a part in this. NXT contracts are starting to be a little smaller. Main roster contracts are starting to involve a lot less bonuses, for example. So there's only a few people like Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, who are on the real big money now. Becky Lynch, one of those amongst there as well. So at the moment, there are no real serious plans for budget cuts, but that may change in the coming weeks and months as we get closer to the sale. So it's unfortunately, right now, very good news, but could well end up as a pretty bad situation later on.
So at this point in time, is WWE just holding out to sell their company for more than what Manchester United's about to sell themselves out for? Because it seems like Vince seems to think he's worth more than them.
Pretty much, yeah. And honestly, I'm pretty confident he'll get it one way or the other. I don't like what the other way is, but of the preferred bidders, there's only 2 or 3 which have enough money and enough capital to actually afford what he's going for, and they are the ones who are willing to splash it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of help you out, Ed, we'll throw this up for you because I know you got to bounce pretty quick. So let everyone know where we can find you and your Jay White loving opinions.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter, EdFries12584. Yes, what is a Manchester United?
Very funny.
We were talking about football in, what is it called? Hand egg? Is that what Cy called it in the bot chat earlier?
Yes, I call it hand egg, which is American football.
Yeah.
But you can find me on Twitch at EdFries2002. I will be streaming 2K23 in the coming days. I've been getting some things together for that. And speaking of that, I think since we're both here and we're getting close to WrestleMania, I think we're going to go ahead and announce it tonight. That there will be a GM mode featuring myself and this man, Chris Parrish, as we will be having Wrestle Draft coming live to 2K23's GM mode post WrestleMania. We're not sure yet exactly how or what. We think it is going to be YouTube exclusive. That's what we've been talking about. But again, stay close to us here at the Ole Network to find out about that. Also, you can find me on All Things Taking Over this week on Tuesday night, about 10:10, after NXT finishes with the lovely Ash Bizarro. And then you can also find us this Saturday afternoon. After NXT Stand and Deliver, we will be going ahead and having a review show about the wonderful show that Stand and Deliver is going to be.
Good
Yes.
stuff. Tom, just so you are aware, we have something for you.
Woo!
I totally
Do you want to
didn't
let
get that during
everybody
the
know
show.
what you have going? Oh no, not at all. But do you want to let us and our followers and everyone in the chat know what you have coming up this week? As we all know, it's a busy week, and
Yeah.
where
Absolutely.
people can find you.
Yep. Most of my focus at the moment is on the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Tom Colohue, as shown right there. We have just reached 2,230 subscribers, and we're continuing to grow at a very good pace. As I did mention earlier, I'm going to be live for, once I factor in spoiler warning, at least 20 hours between next Friday and the Monday after, for the sake of 2 nights of WrestleMania, 2 watch parties. I didn't even just count the Hall of Fame, which will take us to 21 hours. I am not going to be able to sleep. It's going to be a horrible experience, and I suggest you all check it out and join me in my pain. Thankfully, WrestleMania may be quite good. Certainly, I won't be doing post shows. I'll be doing the live watch parties, which means, for example, I may be feeding some raids over to different channels, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also popping into SCW Wrestling channel with someone called Steve. I know, Ed, you're familiar with Steve a little bit as well. To pop onto his channel for predictions on Tuesday, and we'll be doing a live mailbag episode of PW Torch's Nick and Tom's Intercontinental Adventure, on Tuesday as well. So check that out.
Looking forward to all of that.
A lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff. I know.
Yeah.
And then Bobby,
I was just saying, I heard the alert, so I was like,
Bobby,
it's
where
just
can we
in.
find you?
No, that's a just in. I forgot to turn the volume on my
No,
phone down.
That's Alex Thomas is just in saying hello. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for joining. Yeah. But where can you find me? Of course, you can find me all over OLE. Of course, you're going to see me on Thursday night. I am going to be joined by Papa Spokes. We bring you another edition of Ring Respect Radio. And after the fun we had this past Thursday, you just never know what's going to happen and what we're going to talk about and what kind of laughter is going to be had. So join us in a live capacity there on YouTube and on Twitch. Of course, I'm going to be recording tomorrow night, Chapter 2 of Killer Cuts, the horror movie review show that I do with Asher Pizarro. That's going to be coming out on a Friday there for you guys. And then again, all over your screens all weekend as it's WrestleMania weekend. I believe I will be on the review show one or both nights. Of course, busting out here with you, Parrish, on Sunday as we hit episode 31. So, yeah, I'm all over here. And, of course, you can also catch me on Perry Pro Wrestling Saturday afternoons with Papa Spokes calling all the action for you.
Awesome. And for me, you can follow me on the Twitter at Chris Parrish, the Instagram at Chris.Parrish, Twitch at the Chris Parrish, and YouTube at Chris Parrish. And just so you guys all don't forget, make sure you're checking out OLE podcasts on all the social medias, except for Twitch, which is our local establishment, YouTube at our local establishment, and make sure you're emailing at our email at olepodcast@gmail.com if you have any news or comments or, offers in regards. As for the shows I'll be on, you can watch me every Mondays on the Raw Watch Along with Carl Carafel, Chris Best, and Mr. OMD. You can follow me every Sunday with Bustin' Out. Obviously, Ed and I have paper previews that is going to be dropping Saturday morning. Probably see me throughout the whole weekend with WrestleMania. It's going to be a crazy weekend. We appreciate everyone who's willing to stop by, show some love, and say hi. Just like we are very happy with everyone today stopping by, saying hi, being involved in the chat. We all want to make sure that we cannot do this without your love and support, so we appreciate it very much. Basser coming in with a boatload of logos. So, for everyone in the comments, thank you so much. And everybody on Twitch will be letting you know that we'll be rating somebody new today. His name is Dan Makes Games. He is playing some WWE 2K23. Somebody we don't know very well, but we just want to show some love and support. So make sure you're going over their channel and saying hi and show them what we like to call the OLE way, which means be as active as you were today and, give the guys some positive feedback as you should be there right now. For everyone still on YouTube, we are going to be closing out. So thank you once again for everything. And this has been Busting Out 30, and you have a
You ready to rock? We'll just let it fall. Are you ready now? Are you ready to move? Let's just move. Let's move.